Hey folks, Mike and McGee here. If you've been following this channel long, you know where I'm at right now. This is the pump that pumps the water from my spring to my house, 3,700 feet. Recently it got very cold and I drained the water up there in the white pipe that held all that. It drained the tank up there, it drained all the pipe, and so the only place I had to drain was from there down to here. I opened this part up and let the water flow out through here. That wasn't good enough. The guy that built the pump had supplied me with a nice quick release right here, and I failed to put it into practice. So the water froze and blasted this apart right here. So today what I'm going to try to do is fix it so that I can pump water again. This is a stainless steel part right here. In order to get this off, I'm going to have to take the pump out. So I'm going to just take out these two concrete screws, and I should be able to move this. There we go. Now I've got to get this off because I believe it's completely and totally ruined. Not only did this get forced out of these threads, but this broke. This is not unthreaded. This actually broke, and I'll show you as soon as I get this off. I'll show you the pipe. I'm glad that it's coming off because I was afraid those threads were going to break off in there. So right here is where it busted. I'm going to have to take a hacksaw and cut that off and hope that I can get that threaded back on. And now, a simple matter of taking this off. Come off so easy. Wow. All right, I went to the store and I did not find stainless steel, but I did find a black iron, which this is black iron. They had a choice of black iron or galvanized. I said, I don't want my drinking water going through galvanized. So anyway, I've got this break in this pipe. I'm going to have to try to cut this loose. I got this small little saw here, hoping to use some finesse and perhaps be able to get this threaded on. I have no clue if I'm going to be able to do that. Let's see. Right here's the tricky part. You don't want to leave a big old burr. Try to hold this still so it don't just break off. Finesse, gentleness, caution, careful. All right, it's off. Odds of this threading back on there are so low, I can't tell you how low this is. I'm just going to take this loose, I guess. Get where I can see it. I have to be able to see the threads where the thread is not, where the thread is screwed up. I've got to be able to see it and hopefully fix it. I can't really move this a whole lot. I'm going to take this old pipe tape off where I can see better. It's awful flared out. All right. Still going to be very much almost like a miracle if this gets started. I think I can see where the thread tapers out here. Wow. if this works, you're gonna see a very surprised man. It went on. Oh, and it came off. Come on here now. Don't be tricking me like that. I have to basically use this like a tap and die set and see if I can't work it little by little. No, I don't think it's gonna work. Oh, I completely understand if you're pulling your hair out right now. Some of you guys are way more knowledgeable about this than I am. It's wanting to get started, but then it goes off course. So I've got a problem somewhere. It is time for us to go turn the water on, fill the tank, and see if we can pump some water. Here is where I keep it drained. This right here will freeze and bust if I don't. So I'm gonna just plug it and let it fill the pipe, fill the tank. Everything's gonna be filled, and then we're gonna try to pump water. It occurs to me, every video I put out, I have new people come on. You may have never seen the tank. You may have never seen my spring. Let's go look at it. All right, here's my tank. As you can see, I've got it wrapped in foil. I actually painted the tank black before I wrapped it in the, it's not really foil, it's a reflective barrier made for roofing. Works great keeping the algae out. So it's painted black, covered with the reflective barrier to keep the water from getting hot. This pipe comes straight out of the ground. So my spring is here, and as you can see, all covered in leaves, but under the leaves is dirt and concrete that I buried the pipe in to make sure that all the water goes through the pipe and don't escape. We used to use this whole area as a pool, an open pool, and we pumped it through this pipe right here that my foot's sitting on, through the dam and around there. But we started having problems, raccoons, and a leak right there that let a lot of water out. So right now we're using the tank. I don't know if that's going to be a long-term fix, but I think that is going to be much better than this. So as soon as this tank gets full, we're going to open up the pump and start pumping water without electricity, without any other source of power other than water. Let's do it. Okay, the tank is full. There's always some air in the line that causes us a little bit of grief, so I'm going to let the air out real quick and then we'll start pumping water. See, now I've got air coming out the line. Here it comes. That first bit of water was from this part of the pipe. A little more air, a little more air. There's another. It usually has two pockets of air that I have to drain out before I can start pumping. All right, let's roll, boys. Get the air out of that line. All right, I'm gonna cap it right there. I don't want to lose no more water than I have to. We are at a water deficit, even though it rained the last 2 nights, all night long pretty much. That's not down in the ground where this water's coming from. We are at a water deficit. Come on, water. All right. Some filthy looking water coming out first. I'm just going to hold this so it don't pump any of it. Getting better. I think it's little bits of rust or something, a little dirt. Looks to me like I've got too much leakage going on here. So that being the case, I'm gonna have to take this apart and just let this water run out. And I'm gonna have to go get me a tap and die set. And that's all there is to it. Hey, too cold for that. All right, needless to say, my hillbilly ingenuity did not work at all. So I've got to take this back apart and I've got to do it right. I got myself a die right here, pretty good sized little piece of equipment, and I'm going to re-thread this thing. Yeah. I want to have it dry if at all possible. All right, see how this works. If that was all it took, that was so easy. That's all it took. Absolutely unbelievable. All right. Sometimes it pays to do the job right the first time. Unbelievable. All right. All right. Unbelievable how simple it was once I got the right tools on the job. Crazy. All right, let's turn the water back on and see how it works. That's the overflow. That means the tank is full. Let's do it. Okay, the water's full, the tank's full. I've got the air out of the line. It's time to turn it on. It's not leaking. This is a button ram pump. It's a hydraulic ram pump. Works off of water pressure, comes down the hill, runs into here. You have to have the drop. I've got about 18 feet of drop from the spring to here, 300 feet away. Pumping beautifully. That's what we want right there. And I've learned my lesson. Next time it's gonna get down really cold, I'm gonna disconnect it right here. And that will save all this mess from taking place. That was a fiasco. Took me all day to do what I should have been able to do in 20 minutes. That's not cool. Let's go to the spring house and see if water's coming. The spring house is 3,700 feet away. That's a long, long way to pump water. And I gotta hike up out of here. Let's see if we got any water coming at the spring house. All right, as you can see, we're pumping water. Water is flowing. People have asked me a few times how the spring is holding out and how the pump and all this is working through the winter now that it's gotten cold. Here's the deal. So extremely dry. I've not seen a fall and winter this dry since I've been here in Tennessee. Unbelievable how dry it is. So no, we're not pumping 24/7 because the spring can't put out enough water to keep the pump flowing. So what we do is we pump while we are collecting water. So we're only pumping water we're using. We're not letting water flow like we did all through the early part of the fall, late part of the summer when we got this done. It was just flowing 24/7. Super cool, but we can't now. It's just too dry. And so I'm hoping that the last 2 nights of rain is kind of a taste of what's to come. I hope that it keeps raining because we are dry down deep in the ground. A couple nights of rain really does great for my clover and all that, but down deep where the spring water is, not so much. As you can see, my wife or kids or somebody put a cheesecloth on here to catch any chunks because it is a spring. It's coming out of the earth, and sometimes you get a chunk or two. That water's clear as crystal. Somebody asked me the other day if I've got my water tested yet. I have not. I need to do that. We've tested it according to drinking it for several months now. Feels good on the belly, but who knows? It's good water, right? Of course it is. Good water. It's been used for decades, if not centuries, by predecessors that own that land. So that's how it's going. Sometimes Southern ingenuity don't work and you got to get it done right. But that's all we got for you today. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.